He's busy having his live chat with Rudiger right now.
He wants to be whatever. What's that YouTube? What's that YouTube that he's on? What's that YouTube shit that he's on? What's that YouTube show he's on? Whatever is that guy?
Bro, his own channel, innit?
No, he's another one. Whatever is that guy?
Yeah, whatever it is, man.
There's a guy who does YouTube with him, whatever it is. Yes, Sidemen. Well, right, tear his contract. Let him go and play for Sidemen now.
He's got his 28th goal for City this season.
See? BBC love me, man. They love me. They call me. Mwah! They know I'm making it, man. I'm going to win the league. Mwah! Guys, mwah! See you at the terrace, guys. Hey! Let me do a little dance. I'll see you at La Lahla. Hey! A little dance, bro. You see this? I used to play like this. When Santos used to win the league. Hey! They give me a call, man.
I love Hamza. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Liverpool show, ladies and gentlemen, where we're here to discuss disgusting Liverpool Football Club losing away at Galatasaray. You know, as we look forward to this week, that will either be the week of shame, where we will be shamed on the internet if we do not beat Tottenham Hotspur and Galatasaray, or we will bounce back as expected and actually beat them both. Big up to all of you guys. Please do make sure guys are liking and subscribing. Yes, Alexander Slot is still here indeed. Big up to all of you guys. Like I said, please hit the like button, subscribe. All the links are in the description. You can find Mike Das LFC in the description. You can find Liverpool Chats TV in the description. KJSJ7 in the description. He just hasn't switched on his camera yet, but he's here. And, you know, Rax's Twitter is in the description. So big up to all of you guys. I hope you guys are all good and happy. Everyone in the chat as well. I don't want to keep interrupting the show to say like and subscribe. So as soon as you walk in, whether you're watching this right now or on the replay, just close the live chat and hit the like button. And I'm going to start out with Mike Das. Galatasaray game. What happened? What's the solution? And yeah, talk to me.
I mean, listen, if you're surprised, guys, it's March 13th. Like at this point, wake the fuck up. Like seriously, wake up. How many times do we have to sit here and we string 2 wins in a row and everyone, you know, blows their lid and then all of a sudden we come back down to earth. So let's all just be humble. Let's all, you know, exercise some humility and realize that every week we play with a disadvantage. I think for the majority of that game, what you saw was first 10 minutes, Galatasaray started very sloppily, and we didn't punish them for it. Florian Wirtz missed an open net, and we did not take advantage of Galatasaray being incredibly poor in the first 10 minutes. All of a sudden, they score a goal, everything changes, right? Basically, Galatasaray did their best impression of 2018 Liverpool and pressed the ever-living shit out of us, and we just could not deal with it. Arne Slot's solution to the former 3-1-0-0-0-6 that I love to harp on was to change it to a 4-1-0-0-0-0-1-5, right? So it was just awful all across the board. I do think that there was individual poor performances, 100%, but listen, at the end of the day, when the manager is putting players in the position to fail, I can only go so hard at the players. I think that McAllister was poor. I think Gravenberch was poor. I think Ekitike needs to score that one-on-one. With how poor of a game that we had, Ekitike still got into a one-on-one. He needs to put that away. The shot that Florian Wirtz has, I don't know what it is with him and shooting, but everything comes off flaccid. There's no power. There's no placement. It's nothing. It's always miscontrolled, which is unacceptable. And you know, I guess the one positive is with how poor we played, we still had chances that we're sitting here and saying we should have scored. So with how poor everything is on a fundamental level, we still created opportunities, which is the only bright spark for the return leg. And we're lucky and we're fortunate that it's only 1-0. No one has yet to explain to me how the disallowed goal for Galatasaray was actually disallowed, because no one who touched the ball was in an offside position. So, like, again, I can't believe that just went across the news board and everyone just isn't talking about that. I don't know how that was offside, yet we got away with it. And Mamardashvili even had to make a huge save off of a corner. So, listen, we could go all day about the fundamental issues with this team, but I don't want to. I need to see more from the players at this point. Like we understand how much we suck. We understand that we're not a team, but like somebody grab the game by the scruff of the neck and do something. Gravenberch, like literally just yell at McAllister and say, come closer. Yell at Szoboszlai, say come closer. Like Van Dijk, be a leader. Change shit on the pitch. You know, that's the kind of things that I need to see. Not the changing of the structure, because I don't expect players to do that. I don't expect Slot to do it. But listen, 1-0 back to Anfield. I would say we have a decent chance, but unfortunately, in 6 halves of football under Arne Slot in knockout stage of Champions League, I only have 1 goal. So I'm not super confident against Galatasaray. I'm not very confident against Tottenham, but we'll see. But, you know, if you're shocked or you're surprised, please, guys, drink a coffee, have a tea, calm down.
Can I tell you why I'm shocked?
We've been here before.
Because we've been here before. I thought, like, you know how we lost to Wolves in the Premier League game, but like pride took over in the FA Cup game? I thought some pride would take over and we wouldn't lose to them in back-to-back games. I really did. That's why I'm shocked, Mike. And you know you know what's the most irritating thing? Galatasaray didn't play well either. They didn't press amazingly. They didn't low block amazingly. They didn't pass amazingly. Like, we just suck.
I thought that they pressed us very well, and I thought that our structure led to their press being more effective. Again, if I could pull up a million different screenshots. I saw the same exact screenshots that I pulled up in October, and I called it V-ball, but I didn't use V. Same exact thing. There's 40 yards of space in the middle of the pitch, and I'm looking at 6 Galatasaray players in our half and only 4 Liverpool players in our half. Brother, the ball is at the edge of it's at the edge of our own goal line, right? I'm sorry, it's at the edge of our own box, and there's 4 players in our half, and there's 6 Galatasaray players in our half. How are you supposed to build up on a 4v6? Please, someone educate me and tell me how that is productive football and why I should be sitting here screaming at Gravenberch, screaming at McAllister when that's what the expectation is. But anyway, I've been rambling. Someone else go ahead. Take the mic.
Yeah, I blame the players, man. I think that first half, you got to blame the players. We could have been 3-0 up before even Galatasaray scored. The players have to help. Look, I still blame Slot for everything that's going on. Don't get me wrong, but I do think we have to some of these players have to take responsibility, and I think they're getting away with it because of the poor performance of the coach. You know, so they have to take some responsibility. Look, the Wirtz chance, I don't think was an easy chance that he missed, but he's got to at least hit the target. Do you know what I mean? He's got to do better than what he did. The second Wirtz chance, I actually blame McAllister more than Wirtz because McAllister gave up the opportunity to shoot in a better position and passed off the opportunity and the pressure and gave it to Florian Wirtz, who was in a worse position to score from. So, you know, I blame McAllister more for that. Yeah, players were poor, man. Players were poor. Kanate having his Lovren against Tottenham moment. I mean, you know, what Kanate's doing in that game, I have no idea with. No, we're poor. We're poor. And then tactically set up as well, we're poor as well. I don't want to see Florian Wirtz playing left wing anymore. I don't get it. Pick your midfield. I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it again. I don't know if Arne Slot actually wants Florian Wirtz at Liverpool because he's doing everything in his power not to play him properly. He's obsessed with Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai in his midfield. He's obsessed with it, and he doesn't know how to get the best out of Florian Wirtz at all. So there's issues all over the place. Look, I still think we'll go through because I do think, looking at that game, we should have scored 3 or 4 goals in Turkey. I'm hoping for God that the players ain't that stupid on Wednesday night at home and take their chances and put us through. But yeah, it's a mixture of everything right now. You know, the manager's not setting up the team properly. We know that. We understand that. We could talk about that every day of the week. But the players also got to start taking a bit of accountability as well. And, you know, it's not, even though I disagree with how he's playing Arne Slot, Arne Slot's playing Wirtz on the left wing, it's still not Arne Slot's fault that Wirtz shoots the way he shoots. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, players have to take accountability still, but I do believe we'll still go through. That's just maybe, me being naive, I suppose, just hoping and praying. But I still saw enough in that game that I think we'll beat them at Anfield. But that's just probably naivety at this point. But yeah, I think there's a mixture of everyone here to play. I'm not going to just sit here and do the slot bashing, because we could all do that. We've done it. We all understand it. But I think it is time we have a look at some of these players.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's, again, at the end of the day, it does start with the coach. Everything starts with the coach. If the players aren't set up properly, then we're setting ourselves up for failure from the start. But the opportunities we had in that game, just the players just have to do better there. And I think that's the constant theme. Like, it's a game where we gave up one goal. We did give up a lot of chances, but we had opportunities to kill the game. And our attackers just haven't been at it all season. And that's the concern in the Champions League, because that's what separates the winners from the losers now. Like, Chelsea had their game where it was pretty close for most of the game, and then PSG's attackers just took the game over, and the scoreline looks ugly. So, like, if you just have the right attackers up there to finish the chances, then everything looks different. We analyze the game different. The game state changes. And where I blame Slot is he's just not picking the right players anymore. Like, it's clear where the gaps are in the team. And I think without recruitment, some of those gaps can't be filled with the current squad, but we have enough to be playing better than how we're playing right now. And I do expect us to go through, but as you said, Husam, in a video you put out a couple of days ago, I think it's just, at this point, it's just win. You have to win these next two games.
Today I released it. It's must win.
Okay.
We'll speak about next week in a bit, but I feel like we've got to speak about the atrocity that happened first before we look forward. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like, it's the same problems every game, as I said. Like, I think we have to just try something different up front now. Like, Gakpo's not working. We need Wirtz in the 10 where he's performed the best this season. Someone has to get sacrificed in Salah and Gakpo, and we just have to figure out how that works. We have to go that direction. That's what I think.
I mean, look, for me, it was a long time coming, and Husam, you were there when I discussed it on Mo's channel the other day. I'm now at the point where I don't think things are going to get better, and so yeah, if people want me to say it, then I think Slot has to go. I don't know whether he thinks he's going to go now or whether he's going to go, at the end of the season.
They broke Racks.
It's a matter of
They broke Racks.
But I mean, what I've been saying for the last few weeks is we need to start playing better now, not for this season necessarily, but for next season. And right now, I don't think it's going to get better. Before, I had some hope that maybe things would start progressing. Towards the end of the season, we would start seeing improvement. But now we're midway through March, and we're not seeing any improvement whatsoever. There's no line, even if it's a steady line. The things are arguably getting worse. They're arguably getting worse, and it's really unfortunate. But this is an unprecedented fall from where we were last season, and Slot deserves a hell of a lot of credit. People who try and take credit away from him for last season, I think that's unfair. He deserves a lot of credit for last season, but when things are going badly, unfortunately, the manager has to hold the can as well. Are the players pulling their weight? Probably not. Could they do better? Sure. But that's Slot's job to get it out of them. And because these players are better than what they're showing right now, we should be doing better than being sixth in the Premier League. This is 2 games we've gone to Galatasaray, 2 games we've lost, and deservedly so. I don't think we deserved anything really out of the game the other day. It's whether it be now or the end of the season, it's time to go, I think, because I can't see it getting better. We could all start analysing the game, and I don't really want to. It's more for me. It's about mood and how I feel about the future of this team.
Let me dig deep into your wound a little bit. Why? What broke you? What broke you versus Galatasaray specifically? What is it that broke you?
It's just been too long where we haven't seen improvement. We've seen a couple. Every now and then we'd see. There have been so many false dawns this season. We had a few games where we played poorly, and then you had a performance which there was some indication. Maybe we were pressing a little bit better. Maybe we were winning the ball back a little bit better. Maybe we created a little bit more. And then you think, okay, maybe this is something to build on. Maybe this is a turning point. Maybe this could be something to hang our hopes on. Because look, we're fans, right? So ultimately, depending on, regardless of how intensely or how deeply we analyze the games, or whether we just look at it on a surface level, we don't have any direct involvement in what happens. So you have hope. And so you see these little things, you think, okay, maybe there's something there. Maybe something can change. All except Mike, because Mike knew this a long time ago. But there's only so many times you can go to that well, right? There's only so many times this is not going to get better. And I was close to it after the first Wolves defeat, because it's capitulation, right? How many last minute games do we need to lose? And then this game was just, I don't know. The only thing, I don't think he will get sacked before the end of the season. My only hope now is because we're not going to win the Champions League. We're just not defensively solid enough, and our attack isn't good enough. Could we pull it out? Could we pull a surprise in a two-leg game? Sure, but I think after this we got the quarter-final, you have the semi-final, and then the final. I think
against PSG.
As soon as we face PSG, I think that it's going to be game over. And even if it's not PSG, it'll be Real Madrid or whoever or Bayern Munich, whoever will be in the semi-final. So maybe we get lucky in one tie. It's possible, but we're just not strong enough. And
I see Paul Mitch is leaning towards Slot out now. Hey, if he's leaning towards it, then you get
look, no one cares. No, but the thing is, right?
Maybe the club messaged him. They told him it's okay to say it now. You know?
But I think people, some people have less. Maybe not. Patience is the wrong word, because some people say patience is a virtue. For people who were Slot out 6 months ago, or 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, I think they are perfectly entitled to have that opinion. And I also think it's okay for me to change my mind now. It's just a question of when you change your mind. As long as you have a rational reason, and my reason is I don't see us getting better. Certainly not to the point where we're going to be able to challenge next season. So that way, we've fallen from a league to sixth place potentially, no Champions League football. And then unless things change significantly, I don't think we're going to improve for next season. Next season should be our priority now.
I disagree with that.
Everything
else I agree, but that last point I disagree with.
But not with Slot. But not with Slot. You think if Slot stays for next season?
Oh, with Slot, no.
Yeah, my caveat is with Slot. The only way to redeem it.
I just want to hear KJ's opinion, because he hasn't spoken yet. So I want to get his opinion on the Galatasaray game, because I'm gonna just go all out, to be honest with you. Go on, KJ.
Wow. Before we even played the game, when we drew the Masters, I'm not confident against Galatasaray, man, because it's them. Because it's the Asses are rather Atletico. We know what they're about. We know how they're going to play against us. But Gala, they got nothing to lose. They're happy to be there. Furthermore, they're happy that they drew us. Out of everyone that was left, they're happy that they drew us. So, with that saying, I already knew that they'd be up for the game. I didn't think they'd play us off the park or nothing like that. And I still don't think, watching the game back, or even watching the game as it was going on, I don't think that they played us off the park. However, there was the better team by far. First balls, second balls, first contact, second contact, everything. There was first man to. We didn't look like we wanted it. We didn't look like we was up for the battle. Set pieces, we've been defending them somewhat well lately. All of a sudden, it's back to what we was doing pretty much all season, acting like we don't know how to defend. It was a shambles, in all honesty. Players, Wirtz has to bury both of his chances. Not just one, two that he had early on. He has to finish them. Furthermore, I'd go as far to say all of our chances we had within the first 5 minutes, even I'd say 2 was probably half chances, but we should have finished them. The players have to do better there. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no maybes. At a club like Liverpool, in this team that we have right now, fair enough, the manager XYZ, we are where we are right now, but there's no excuse for why you can't be finishing those chances. There's no excuse why you can't be making cleaner contacts on that. There's no excuse why Wirtz can't just put his foot through the ball. Always side foot, always delicate, always pillow foot. Just lace it for once. Just put your foot through it and say, have it. Old school. We used to criticize Darwin for that because that's all he used to do. Now we're doing the opposite this season. We're criticizing Wirtz because this guy's got too much finesse. I'm not confident about this second leg at Anfield. I'll be honest. In my opinion, we've been worse at home this season than we've been away. So with that saying, I still feel like we can get the job done. I think we will get the job done, but I'm not confident about it at all.
Look, I'm already going to move on to talk about next week because I think these next 2 fixtures are very important. Big up to Ambient for the super. Big up to everyone locked in. And, please do hit the like button and subscribe. Every single one of you, please hit the like button and subscribe right here, right now. Because I think these conversations are very important for us to have. So, like I said, I don't want to keep interrupting to say like and subscribe, but we're not even like at 100 likes yet. So you guys have a worse return than Arne. So please close the live chat and like the video. Look, I let everyone else speak first because I'm just trying to figure out where everyone is at with this whole conversation. These next 2 games for me, forget getting to the Galatasaray Wednesday game. If we draw or lose this Sunday against Spurs, sack him in the tunnel. And if we lose or draw against Galatasaray, sack him in the tunnel. Both losses are sackable offenses. There is no excuses whatsoever. There is literally 0 excuses. You cannot lose to the worst Spurs side in our whole lifetime, who are 17th. Who got touched up by Atletico on Wednesday. They're literally 17th place with Tudor. All of their fan base are losing their mind right now talking about the relegation battle. You can't lose to a serious relegation contender at Anfield. And with all due respect, I think if Mike Das was manager, I would still expect him to beat Galatasaray on Wednesday because they don't even have fans and the deficit is only 1-0. Now, we need to stop acting like we lost 3-0 in Turkey or 4-0 in Turkey. The deficit is 1-0. I think any of us could take charge of Liverpool and beat Galatasaray this Wednesday. And yes, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying something that I think is too much. I think I could get a random guy in the chat. I can bring Alexander and Liverpool 67, make them Liverpool manager, and I still expect them to beat Spurs and Galatasaray. I'm being dead serious, by the way. I'm not even joking because Spurs are so bad. As bad as we have been this season, not a single Spurs player starts in our team. Not a single Spurs player gets into our squad. Same with Galatasaray outside Osimhen. No one starts for us. No one gets into even the team. No one gets into the squad as bad as we've been. So there's losing and then there's being embarrassed. If you lose to PSG on penalties, that's called losing. If you lose to Galatasaray, that's called embarrassing. If you lose to Tottenham Hotspur or draw to either of them, that's called embarrassing. When the draw happened, just as much as Liverpool fans, we might look at other clubs like, oh, if Arsenal don't go through Leverkusen, it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's true. But guess what? If we don't go through Galatasaray, it's even more embarrassing because they're even worse than Leverkusen. So we have to be able to win these games of football. It's very important for us to win them. And for me, it's on the manager, it's on the players as well. But I think it's very important as well to look at it from the perspective of the manager because at the end of the day, this is the harsh reality of football. Breaking news to everyone. You cannot sell 24 players, but you can sack one manager. This is football. It's been like this since it's been invented. If everyone looks like crap, by definition, the manager is to blame, regardless of what scenario you want to bring out, regardless of recruitment, regardless of anything. When no one looks good, because as an example, in Klopp's season where we finished 5th, we still had a couple of players who looked good. We still had a couple of players who performed. We still had a couple of players you went like, okay, this guy's playing well. This guy's playing well. This guy's having a decent season. That guy's right now, I can't look at a single Liverpool player and actually hand on heart say that they're performing well, probably outside Dominic Szoboszlai. And even he has regressed over these last 3 to 4 games. And he's been our steady Eddie the whole season. He's performed well for us. And You're saying it as if Galatasaray are absolute bums. Yes, Galatasaray are absolute bums. Yes, yes, they are. Outside Osimhen, not a single Galatasaray player. Do you want me to go full screen and put for you the Galatasaray lineup right now? I'll do it. Man said you're speaking like they're bums. Yeah, buddy, they are bums. That's why I'm gonna put myself full screen right now. Yeah, let me show you. Yeah, here we go. I still have the lineup. Shakir, Singo, Sanchez. That's Davinson Sanchez from Spurs. Bardakci, Jacobs, Torreira. 10 years ago, Troops used to rant about him on FTV. Lemina, Wolves failure from 3 years ago. Yilmaz, Tara, Lang, Osimhen. Who starts for us? Outside Osimhen.
Lemina, maybe.
Stop it. Stop it. As bad as Gambo and McAllister are, Lemina doesn't start for us. Stop it right now.
Lemina's better than Cody Gakpo.
Stop it. Lemina's not a left winger. That's how sad it is. So Lemina is not even a left winger. So yes, they are bums. And stop making these excuses. Because I know ex-Symphony, the type of person you're going, oh, Galatasaray is a tough game. And then Galatasaray draw PSG and then they lose 10-2 on aggregate or something, bro. Allow it, bro, please. Please, like, we've seen this movie before, you guys. Like, we're actually turning into Arsenal fans from 5 years ago without realizing. Like, we're actually turning into Arsenal fans from 5 years ago without realizing. And people need to wake up and smell the coffee. The truth of the matter is we have to beat Galatasaray and we have to beat Spurs. If we lose or draw any of the next 2 games, Slot should walk to the airport. Forget just get sold. Like, he should get sacked. He should walk to the airport. I don't care about context. I don't care if someone gets sent off. I don't care if someone misses a blah, blah, blah. All this, no one cares. You have to win. You have to win both games. Our last Premier League game, we lost to Wolves. I think losing to Spurs at Anfield is more embarrassing than losing to Wolves away. And I'm being dead serious about that. I'm not even exaggerating. And the Wednesday game against Galatasaray, losing to them or drawing to them is worse than any other scenario. And I love these people who keep bringing up like, oh, under Jurgen Klopp, we've also, we haven't won our return leg in the round of 16. Yeah, well, one of them we drew with Benfica after doing the job in Portugal. The other one we lost to Inter after doing the job in Italy anyway. The third one, we destroyed Atletico Madrid, but then Adrian decides to give them the ball. One of them is Real Madrid, and they were much better than us anyway, so there's no expectations on that game regardless. And last season, we lost to PSG on penalties. So which one is comparable to Galatasaray? Hint, none of them. So that's just the truth. So for me, it's very important for us to win both games. And I do agree with Emeka's take on players. And we need to stop babying the players as well, including new signings. Ekitike missing one-on-one, missing a header again. Lemina, Jamie is very shameless blaming McAllister for that, because McAllister just played it to Virtus right through on goal and he shot it like a 3-year-old. Because if Gakpo did that, we'd be on to him today. So we have to be honest about it.
Oh no, McAllister gave up responsibilities right in front of goal.
But he gave it to a player that was factually empty, like in front of the goal.
In a worse position.
Yeah, but at the same time, the pass was a bit behind Wirtz, though. Yeah. We have to do pass appreciation if this is what we're going to do. If we're going to do the little technicalities and whatnot, then pass appreciation's a thing. If that was Wirtz passing to McAllister, that pass is not behind McAllister. I can guarantee you that.
We signed him for 3 million from Al Wahdat, man. Big up Florian, but no one knew about him before this. We had no expectations of the guy whatsoever.
From where? From where?
I just named a random Jordanian club. You get
okay, yeah.
He's not one of the best 10s in the world. I can't expect him in front of goal to not shoot like a 2-year-old. I can't. But if Gakpo did that, we'd have monologues about Gakpo ready today. See what I'm saying? If Salah missed the one-on-one Ekitike had, Emeka would prepare a speech for us today. So this is the truth. This is the reality, guys. I swear, I'm not even just bringing them up. I don't want either of them at my club next season, but it's the reality. So we have to stop babying these players because they've got to perform on the football pitch. Ekitike can't be missing one-on-ones. Neither Sunday nor Wednesday. Wirtz need to not shoot like a 2-year-old. Neither Sunday nor Wednesday. The midfield need to get a grip. We cannot, in any way, shape, or form, get dominated by like Bissouma or whoever the hell Spurs play in the midfield this Sunday, and we cannot get dominated by Gala midfield next Wednesday. It is so like it's these next 2 games for me. It's so unacceptable that I would legit, if we draw or lose Sunday, I'd sack him, and if we draw or lose Wednesday, I'd also sack him. And like for me, both are sackable offenses and must-win games. So that's my thing for these next 2 games, really.
No, I agree.
What would be your team, Sam? What would be your team for that game? Like, who do you want to see starting for these two games?
Which one, Spurs or Gala?
Both.
I think Galatasaray, you have to go all out attack. You have no option. Frimpong, Kerkez, Mo, Rio, Ekatike, Ver, just put all the attacking players on the pitch, like legit. You have to bench one of Gravenberg and McAllister. Choose whichever one you want to bench. Bench one of them and start Soboslai next to him. Even if you want to run Soboslai Jones, I don't mind. Just bench one of these two. And you have to go all out attack. Spurs, I think we can control them with these. Like, I think even with Slot in charge, we can control them with these. This is Tottenham Hotspur after all. They're embarrassing. They're really embarrassing this season. So we have to be able to defeat them. For me, I would start Rio against Spurs. Against Spurs, I definitely start Rio. I won't start Rio against Spurs and against Gala. I think that's wrong.
Right.
That's my honest opinion. I wouldn't mind, like, you know, maybe giving Chiesa one of the two games or Gakpo even. I don't care. You can start Gakpo against Galatasaray at Anfield. I don't mind. But we all know what's gonna happen, though. I can tell you the team from now. We know the team, guys. We know the team.
I think Rio plays against Tottenham. I think Rio starts against Spurs. The way Slot spoke today, I think Rio starts against Tottenham. I think he looks at that at Anfield against that Tottenham team with I don't think they got a single first choice defender. I think Rio plays that game. I don't think he play against Galatasaray, but I think he starts against Spurs. I actually do.
Yeah, I agree.
Starts that game. I think he starts that game. My midfield three for the next two games is the midfield. I can't. We haven't played it all this season. It's the obvious midfield three. It's a Gravenberch Szoboszlai pivot with Wirtz in a 10. It's our most obvious midfield three, but we haven't played it this season, and I have no idea why. That's the three I would play. That's the three I would play. But he's going to play Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz Gabby either at the team or on left wing because he doesn't know what to do with him. He has no idea.
I'd play Jones and Szoboszlai as the pivot and Wirtz in the 10. Especially
Against
if we
Spurs,
feel
I
like
think that would work, 100%.
especially if we feel like Rio's gonna start left wing. That's the midfield three that I'd go with. Especially because McAllister, his legs are gone. We all know this. He can't make up the ground. 2, Grav, we feel like he needs a rest. Even if it's not just a rest, he needs to be dropped for a game or two. So that being said, Jones, he's been our only other player who seems to want to actually play football with Wirtz and Ekatike. So already that's a line of chemistry we have between the three of them that are actually going to try and play some form of football, renegade football, because that's what I call it, because they're playing against what Slot wants to do anyway.
Yeah.
And then obviously the rest of the front three follows itself, and then the back four follows itself as well.
Listen, I'm speaking for everyone on the panel just quickly before Emeka goes. The problem is we talk must win and never must draw. Slot will draw against Spurs and claim a moral victory. Bro, I'm making an announcement from now. These next two games, I'm parking all player conversations to the side and I'm focusing on Baldy. I'm sorry, it's the truth. No, because Rax, there's levels to this, yeah? I said it's Spurs at home, guys. What are we doing here, guys?
No, I concur.
If Rax was the manager, I'm expecting him to beat Galatasaray. I don't care who's the manager.
I feel like we give them. I feel like we give them
washed up
something.
Premier League rejects turning up to Anfield with a 1-0 win, and you can't even beat them or Spurs. Name one good Spurs player. One. Give me one.
Is anyone
of you on the panel? Name one.
Thinking that we're playing Spurs at the wrong time?
Name one good Spurs.
These games are scary.
Spurs at the wrong time.
Bench players with nothing to lose.
I got a feeling Spurs. See, the thing with Spurs, they got to stop the bleeding, right? They literally have got to stop the bleeding. Yeah. And Tudor knows he loses this, he's gone. We all know apparently what Liverpool's kryptonite is. Although me and Mike have said it's not Liverpool's kryptonite, but Slot believes it is. Yeah, I think Spurs are just going to play the superest low blocks at Anfield and make it very frustrating. They're going to make it extremely frustrating, and I reckon it ain't going to be the game everyone thinks. We'll probably struggle to win a 1-0 or 2-1 game. Because I think
that's why-
Spurs have got to stop the bleeding. They have to. They have to.
I agree with you, and that's why for me, like you guys spoke of the midfield, and I would agree in terms of I think we need to play Wirtz in the 10 in any combination of Grav, Zobo, and Curtis in the pivot. But for me, I think I want to see what Wirtz looks like in the 10 with two pacey wingers on the left and the right. So I would want to start Rio on the left, Ekatike at striker, and I'd want to put Frimpong at right wing. I would want to see what that looks like.
The problem is with that is you beat yourself up at right back. That's the problem.
Yeah, again, Gomez would have to play right
Then
back.
you'd have to go a midfielder and right back. That's the issue.
Yeah, or Gomez. Gomez or a midfielder, one or the other. But I just think we need a game where like.
Are we sure after that Gomez second half performance against Gala? Are we sure we want to go right back Gomez? Are we sure?
Again, whoever we're more comfortable with. If we prefer Zobo there, then put Zobo there, and then put Curtis in the double pivot with Grav. I just think we need to switch up the attack. It needs to be unpredictable again. And if they're going to play a low block, as Jamie says, I just don't think Salah there, who can't beat his man, makes any sense. He can't stretch.
That's why I think Rio will play. I just got this feeling Slot probably already thinks that that's what Tottenham are going to do, and he's going to play Rio in this game and Wirtz in the 10. Because, look, if you're a Tottenham fan, you know, you're going into every game thinking you're just going to get absolutely smashed, yeah? But they can still go down. Look, I don't think Spurs are going to get more than 4 points from now till the end of the season, which means they get relegated. Spurs have got to stop the bleeding badly. And even against a really poor Liverpool team right now, you know, if you give Salah or even Gakpo, even how bad they've been, that much space, they're going to get goals. Even in their poor ways, they've been.
Jamie, can I convince you otherwise? Let me tell you who's out for Spurs. Van de Ven, Dragusin, Romero, Palhinha, Bissouma, Kulusevski, Madison, Kudus, Udogi, Bergval, Odegaard, Bentancur, and Davies. And even Conor Gallagher is out. All of these are out for Spurs. So I don't even know who they're going to play.
That's why we're going to give them at least the point.
That's why they're going to go well low block. That's what I'm saying. They can't. They're going to have to. They're going to have to.
This isn't the game for Salah. This isn't the game for Salah, I don't think.
The only thing with what you're saying, Emeka, it's not about a game for him or not. It's just the fact that I want Frimpong at right back. That's it. Because I want him attacking fullback.
I know Atletico Madrid destroyed them in the first 16 minutes, because that goalkeeper, you know, he probably would never play again in football in his professional life after that game. But Tottenham still scored 2 goals against a better team than we played on midweek.
Facts.
So there is a little bit of caution we have to have.
Jamie, how are you scared of Spurs, bro? I want to end the stream now.
Right.
Like I actually want to end it.
You know, every week I come here and I'm unrealistic and say comfortable win every time, right? Well, Galatasaray killed me. It killed me emotionally, physically. I can't perform. It's bad, right? It's to that level now, I'm just looking at it and thinking now, right? Spurs are just going to play the deadest low block. Oh shit! They scored 2 goals against Atletico Madrid. They could probably score a couple against us. Then I'm seeing visions in my head where Liverpool fuck it up. I can just see it.
If we mess up this Sunday, honestly, or Wednesday, guys, I'm being so serious. Like on the spot, just on the spot, just tell him, yo, thanks, mate. See you.
We're not doing this.
See you later. The problem is there's conflicting reports about this whole Slot scenario, by the way. There's some reports that say, oh, he has the backing, and then there's some reports who go like, oh, he doesn't have the backing. So we don't know who to believe.
There's got to be more men in Spurs' box than Bonnie Blues. That's how bad it's got to be.
You guys.
That's how bad it's got to be. That's how bad it's got to be.
It's important that we all remember who we are. It's important that we all remember what Anfield is. And this season, Anfield is the cauldron of cuckery. And we will bend over for Spurs. It's going to happen. I'm sorry. Look, it's written in the stars. Like the way that this season has gone, this is the most Liverpool thing of all time. Like the most Liverpool thing would be to let the worst informed team come to Anfield and shit on us. Guys, we did not beat a single newly promoted side at Anfield. We've only beaten one newly promoted side, and it was off of a 96th minute penalty. I got beaten 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest. I got beaten 4-1 at home to a club that isn't even in the Champions League knockout phase. Guys, Anfield is as quiet as a library. I would argue that Anfield is even quieter. If you need to study for a final exam, Section 304, it is the most quiet place in all of the UK because you could hear a fucking mouse fart in that stadium. I don't care if Galatasaray have no fans, because even their section of no fans is going to make more sound. The wind hitting the empty chairs will make more sound than the cop, because you're just going to end up hearing groaning this whole game because this team sucks, because the way that we play sucks, because we don't prop up anybody. And I'm sorry, you know, if I were some sort of AI technology and I told AI, hey, listen, I want you to analyze every game this season, every pattern against every opposition, and then I want you to analyze all the opposition's patterns and everything. I guarantee you it would say that there is a much greater chance of Tottenham getting a point, which is worse than losing. Tottenham drawing is worse than losing. If Tottenham bop us off the park, that would be better than drawing to this club. I guarantee you AI would say there's not even a 70% chance that Liverpool are going to win this game, because there isn't. Like, I don't see how. It would have to be a situation where Vicario just says, you know what? I'm done being in the Premier League. I'm going to just let a couple in. It's simple as that. All you got to do is shoot it at me and I'll just let it in. Because at the end of the day, I mean, that's kind of what they did at Atletico Madrid. If you take away those 3 idiotic mistakes that the one goalkeeper made, that's a 2-2 game. Just remember that. The goalkeeper gave them 3 goals. Take away those 3 goals that have no business being a goal. They draw 2-2 away at Atletico Madrid. Like, that says something. Do you think that they're just going to pass us the ball? You think Mohamed Salah is going to get 45 seconds to just dribble the ball into the net? I don't. Not after last weekend, especially since Vicario's starting. And I don't care who's out of that back line. Again, I've said it all season. You could field an 11 of Sunday players, and with the right manager, they will bop Liverpool off the park, because our fundamentals are just atrocious. Now, I'm obviously being a little bit negative, but I have reason to be negative. It's more than likely that we're not going to lose. It's more than likely that we're going to win, but it would be the most Liverpool thing. It would be like the most Arne Slot thing to lose this game, and then to go and put in a terrible performance against Galatasaray but win. It would be the most Slot thing to lose to Spurs, go to Galatasaray, and just have the stinkiest 2-0. And then everyone's like, okay, it's okay that we lost to Spurs. We're moving on. We're going to play PSG. Everyone, it's all good. It's all, the house isn't on fire. It's okay. Like, just based off the script. And it's like at every possible moment that you think, oh, we might be okay, reality hits you back. And reality says, nope, Wolves 2-1 away. Last minute winner. Get out of here, buddy. Take your unbeaten streak and shove it up your ass. We don't care. This is the real world. So listen, I don't know if anyone could be confident, because again, guys, like we scrape by teams from the. It's
not about being confident, Mike. It's about what's acceptable and what's unacceptable.
Okay, nine losses out of 12 isn't acceptable. Being in 6th place after
Mike, they broke Rax. You've worked with Rax long enough. Do you understand what it means that Rax is broken? Do you understand?
I understand that, but like you're acting as if, dude, you're taking this is unacceptable, right? But this hasn't been acceptable since fucking October. Like, what are we doing? It's been 6 months. It's been 6 months of things being unacceptable. I'm not going to hear it. I'm not going to hear that losing to Spurs is the unacceptable thing. Losing to Crystal Palace, spending 2 weeks sitting on your fucking thumb, and then losing to Manchester United in the exact same way, that is unacceptable. And that was 6 months ago. So, like, dude, it is what it is. Like, you know, if you want to call me doom and gloom, that's perfectly fine. But, you know, given the way that this season
I understand that 9 losses in 12 is unacceptable, which is why we were all slot outside Rax. I'm simply saying there is levels to this. I think this is more humiliating. For me, losing to Spurs at home is humiliating. That, for me, is the equivalent of Barnsley in the FA Cup beating us.
For me, conceding a goal to Spurs at home is humiliating. We could win 7-1. If we concede a goal, it's a disgrace. This Spurs
There
This
you go.
Spurs team,
And the
I agree
Galatasaray
with you.
thing, the same. If you were manager, if Mike Das was announced as Liverpool manager tomorrow, I'm expecting you to win the next 2 games.
If I was
No
manager,
exaggeration.
we would be sitting in second in the league. And if any of you guys were managers, you would be second in the league. Literally
Facts.
anyone. Dude, if we showed up and we just played low block football, we could be second in the league. Like legit. You could take any coach in all of Europe. I guarantee you, he would be doing better than Arne Slot.
I don't know, you know.
Listen, I'm being hyperbolic. There are clearly worse coaches than
No.
Slot.
What I'm saying is I don't think our squad's that good, and I don't think with a better manager we would be second.
I think a better manager's not trying to do what Slot was trying to do. That's for sure.
But we'll be playing better football and it'd be more enjoyable. Do you know what I'm saying? That would be the difference. We'd be smiling more than we're angry. But I don't think
we're balanced.
Right,
yeah.
We
don't have a balanced squad.
I think we'd be third. I think we might be at that third, fourth area right now. But I think the football we'd be playing would be much better, much nicer, more pleasing on the eye, and people would have more hope for next season and actually really be building it up. Where at this moment in time, everyone's just completely dead, and they don't even want to see next season if Slot's the manager. That's where we're at.
I mean, I just think with any other manager, you don't lose. Like we don't concede 2 goals to Fulham at the end of the game. We don't concede the 2 goals to Leeds at the end of the game. We don't concede 2 goals late against Wolves. Like, I just think another manager has a better foundation for a team to rely on. And at the end of the day, that's the biggest problem. Like, all great clubs, when their players are not on it, they have a system that they can fall back to. They have a system that they can run with their eyes closed. We don't have that. We don't have that fundamental just autopilot. Everything looks like it's improv. Everything any good spell of play looks like it's just out of a hat. And a couple of players were like, "Hey, you read me, I read you. Bingo, bango, goal."
Last season should have been the plan B. I had if Slot wanted to do exactly what he's done this season, fine, whatever. But I feel like we should have at least had some form of plan B. And that plan B, so far, looks like we don't have a plan B. So with that in mind, why wouldn't you keep at least a part of what we did last season as plan B to fall back on if shit hits the fan like it clearly has this season? That's what baffles me. He's not adapted to any of the situations we've been in at all. That's one of the things we praised him for last season.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I think there is the club itself didn't foresee a lot of the fall off of some of these players that have fallen off mightily this year, right? Which now which makes the squad actually look worse because of the fall off of some players. You know, like Salah's just fell off, McAllister's fell off, Kanate's had a terrible season. There's been a lot of fall offs. Isaac unfortunately broke his leg and hasn't played a lot of this season. So, where we was all happy at the beginning of the season and the end of last season, and we're thinking, right, Salah's going to do not what he did last season, but he'll be Salah anyway, so he'd be great. You got Isaac, you got Ekatike, we're all happy, but the fall off of some of these players haven't helped as well. Cody Gakpo doing whatever Cody Gakpo's doing this season, which is just crazy to me. And Cody, I don't think we can talk about Mo falling off at 33 years of age, which is absolutely fine, right? Cody Gakpo's 27 and got no excuses to fall off, right? But it's just it.
I've been saying this all season. Welcome to the table,
He was never
welcome to the table, Habibi.
So is it the players
all year? He doesn't hear it.
So is it the players regressing that's made what Slot wants to do on a whole regress, or is it what Slot wants to do that has made the players regress?
We'll find out next season, won't we?
Here's the thing,
well,
KJ.
we don't know for sure because if Salah
I'll answer you in an analogy.
What I want to see, at this point, I'd just like to see the same players under a different manager. That way, I can say, because there's so many things that Slot has done that has been sackable offences. It don't really matter what he does from here on out now. It's already too far gone. So what I want to see is now, like we said, we're all focusing on the players now because we've already had our Slot outs, whatever. Our attention is now more on the players. I want to see them under a different manager because if Salah's regressed, it looks like he's regressed. But if he has really regressed, we'll see that under a different manager who will utilize him different. Because for a start, I don't feel like any other manager who comes in is going to play Salah as a touchline winger.
No.
And I don't feel like he's going to ask for
Salah
tracking
won't
back
be here for
either
the
I think
from Salah
I
at
think
his age.
be here for the next
I,
manager.
I think all of these things
That was
basically feed
always
into each
the
other.
plan. Salah, the plan was never for Salah to be here past this season. The reason we signed him up for all that money was so that we could have the opportunity to sell him this summer.
Yeah, I think so
And
too.
that was, I said that when we signed him. I said that before the season started, before he kicked the ball. Knowing Michael Edwards, that was always the plan. 2-year contract. Okay, 1 more year. We'll sell you in the summer and we'll start our rebuild. So I just
To
think
be
we
fair,
have.
that question wasn't like Salah specific, because we could have that conversation with pretty much everyone in our squad right now. Like, even if you want to just take away Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson, all the seniors that have been here from before, we can say now, like your McAllisters, your Gakpos, Kanate. Early on, people was even asking the question about Bradley. So we can have these same type of arguments for the rest of the squad and throughout the squad without having to target the big three, so to speak. And that's why I asked the question about the regression in general.
Just look at
Yeah,
United.
Yes, and for me,
Look
you
at
know,
United.
look, I can see what Slot is trying to do. We can all see it. We've been watching football for long enough. This is my issue. Let's say KJ tomorrow organizes a barbecue for us all, right? We all come to KJ's backyard, and he's like, guys, I think the barbecue is gonna be shit today. I'm like, all of us are like, why? You have amazing beef, you've got amazing stuff, you've got a great grill. He's like, I don't have the barbecue sauce. That's Arne Slot, because Arne Slot almost needs an ideal scenario for this system in his head to work. And for me, that is the biggest red flag ever. You needing an ideal scenario is that, because here's the thing. Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0 without Salah, without Firmino. We had Origi, we had Shaqiri, we had Wijnaldum score twice. Pep Guardiola won a league title with KDB playing false nine. Manchester United won a Champions League and a Premier League with Wes Brown playing right back. Flashing news to everyone, breaking news to everyone. Ideal scenarios do not exist in football. They simply do not exist in football. That's just the reality of the matter. Because you can't have an absolutely ideal scenario in almost every single fixture. Because I'll give you an example. I'm going to do the thing that all the slot inners say. This summer, Salah and Gakpo both leave. McAllister leaves. We sign Olise, Diomande, and Adam Wharton. Okay? We start the first 3 games. We win the first 3 games, even with Arne Slot in charge. Great. God forbid, match week 4, Olise is out for 3 weeks. Then what happens? Then what? Do we go ahead and now, because we don't have the winger and we don't have the width and the touchline and the blah blah blah, the same stuff that we've heard all season, gonna happen again next year. What happens if Adam Wharton is, God forbid, injured for 2 games and we've got to play Curtis Jones? Oh, the reason why we're losing these games is Adam Wharton couldn't play. Guess what? Klopp signed Naby Keita. He played like 3 games. He signed Oxlade-Chamberlain. He was like Gerrard 2.0 for a month and a half, and then he got injured. James Milner used to play, a lot of games. I never forget Time to See's bet. I don't know if Mike remembers it. Time to See bet me £100 that James Milner is not going to play a single top 6 game. And then he played the first one of the whole season. He played it against Man United. That was the easiest £100 I made my whole life. Before anyone says anything, of course, it was a one-sided bet. I didn't give him anything if it didn't happen. He was so certain, and it ended up happening. So ideal scenarios don't exist in football. As a matter of fact, let's look at the 2 teams at the top this season. Arsenal's forward line is all playing like crap. Zubimendi has had rough patches of form this season. They've had Calafiori out. They've had a couple of injuries here and there. Arsenal haven't had an ideal scenario. Manchester City. Erling Haaland has went... how many goals has he scored in the last 10? Erling Haaland? What, like 2 goals in 10? And they're still there and thereabout. Yeah, he hasn't scored. Marmoush was at AFCON. They've had injuries at centre back. Guess what? They're still there in the title race. So this notion that you need an ideal world where if you're the type of manager that needs an ideal scenario, you're a bad manager. And that's a legitimate thing for me, because good managers makes it work with whatever scenario you bring to them. That's just the truth of the matter. Antonio Conte went to Inter Milan 10 years. They didn't win the league. He played Ashley Young, left wing back, and won the league. This notion that this perfect concoction of things, guess what? Perfection doesn't exist in reality. Luis Enrique this season has had to play Kang Lee in a couple of games. He's had to play Goncalo Ramos. He's had to play a random academy player in midfield. And he's still top of the league. He's still performing where you expect him to perform. Good managers perform in all scenarios. And Arne Slot just simply hasn't been able to perform. And that's why I'm drawing, and this is well to answer Mike's question. This is why I'm drawing a line in the sand for these next 2 games. Because yes, 9-12 is bad. Yes, he deserves to get sacked. We all agree. We're all Slot out, including Rax now. So I can even say that. We're all Slot out. But
you keep saying it though.
Mike, it's like, it's beyond humiliating. It is beyond embarrassing. It is pathetic, and it's absolutely disgraceful if on Sunday you don't get the 3 points and off on Wednesday you don't go through. If Liverpool Football Club get knocked out by Galatasaray, Arne Slot should be made to walk to the airport and leave Liverpool Football Club with immediate effect. Simple as.
So what you're saying, I agree to a certain extent, Husam, but ultimately a good manager, in whatever scenario you put him in, should be able to elevate the team. Now, the question is to what level? And the reason why I'm really disappointed this season is that, yes, there's been a lot of problems this season, but Slot should have done better than where we are. We should be doing better right now than where we are. I agree. I know we went into this season with a lot of high hopes and all that kind of stuff. I think looking back, maybe we got a little bit high on our own supply and a bit over exuberant and all this kind of stuff, right? Realistically, based on the recruitment that we had this season, I don't know whether it was realistic to win the league now. Maybe there are some holes in our squad. It is a little bit imbalanced, but we should be doing better. I think the example you gave of the comeback against Barcelona is apt, but obviously that could very easily have gone the other way, right? We could have still got knocked out. It didn't. So, but we still should be doing better, and that's the disappointing thing. And by now, we should also be doing better. And he's had ample opportunity to be doing better. I don't know. The crazy thing is, I can't say confidently right now. Forget about the Champions League, FA Cup. I'm not really
FA Cup
considering that. Yeah, the fact that we're not sure whether we're going to get into the top 5, and who knows, maybe depending on who goes out, it might not even be top. I know England right now has got the 5th place, but I think if there's Man City just got battered, Spurs got battered. If we were to go out, for example, then maybe our coefficient situation.
Had a bad season last season. Last season wasn't a bad season for City, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where did they finish?
3rd.
For me, this is my problem. If Arne Slot has a bad season, but he finishes below Arsenal and City, I get it. You can't have a bad season and finish below Chelsea or Villa or Man United. That for me is
or even worse, all of them.
I hate when we change our energy. Had we been doing the same exact stream on August 14th instead of March 14th, and I told you guys, hey guys, we're going to finish below Man United, all of you would have said liquidate the club. Forget sacking Slot. You would have said liquidate. They had to sack Ruben Amorim mid-season, get Michael Carrick, who's a failed manager at Middlesbrough. If they finish above us, that in itself is a sackable.
They're going to finish above us.
Nobody disagrees with that. Everybody agrees with that. So.
They're finishing above us. It's happening, and we're probably not going to win away.
There is pride, bro.
At this rate, Chelsea going to finish above us too, and the
there's no more pride.
Will be the fact
there's
that
no
them
more
two
pride.
got rid of their managers.
Pride doesn't exist here. It isn't allowed. Dude, if you had pride, you would have been calling for Arne Slot's head in December. You would have been calling for Arne Slot's head when everything was at its absolute worst. And then we all allowed ourselves to get lulled to sleep when we weren't losing, but we also weren't winning. And everyone was like, it's okay because we're not losing, but you're also not winning. And your winning percentage is barely above 50%. I mean, you've got to increase by at least 30 just to get to 3rd. I mean, you can't go from winning the league to breaking the transfer record twice in the same window to then finishing behind Chelsea, United, Villa, City, and Arsenal. and doing it in the fashion that you're doing. That doesn't make any sense. There is no pride. How could you have any pride in anything that has happened this season? At this point, I think that everything has been dismantled. Like the mentality of the players, the mentality of the fans, the mentality of the board. Again, like what I'm seeing now that's coming out about the club, as you said before, these conflicting reports. I said months ago that it was my belief that this club has not made a decision because one half of the board wants Slot and one half of the board doesn't want Slot. And because there's no agreement, there's indecision. And because there's indecision, we just continue to remain in limbo. And now what do we see? We see these reports saying, oh, the club backs Arne Slot until 27. But then we also see reports that say, but no one actually has faith in Arne Slot and the players are disgruntled, X, Y, Z, yada, yada, yada. So again, like, you know, at this moment, forget pride. Just save face. Like, you know what? It's fun. You've already embarrassed yourself. You know, you've already ripped your pants on stage. It's all good. I get it. Like, it just like SpongeBob. You know, you ripped your pants, but just save face. We're going to finish below United. That's okay. We're probably going to finish below Chelsea. That's okay. Just finish in 5th, save face, lose to PSG, because at least you then have the excuse of, well, I lost to the team that beat me last year, and I lost to the team that won it last year. And just squeak by, get rid of Slot, and then all of this becomes a memory. All of this becomes a distant memory, and next season we got a new manager, and life begins again, and it's a new birth, and we can at least look forward with hope. But, you know, pride, come on. Like, I'm not going to have this conversation of pride. Liverpool Football Club right now is nothing. And the transfer window is the greatest indicator of that. You spent £500 million to get worse. You broke the transfer record twice to get worse. You broke the transfer record twice to not beat any newly promoted sides, to get embarrassed 3-0 at home 4 times, to lose to Crystal Palace 3 times. Like, no, we have no pride. And we have to be realistic about that. We have to be
I think
grounded.
everything you just mentioned, losing to Spurs is worse than that. And losing to Galatasaray is worse than that. I'm being honest. I'm not even exaggerating.
I don't know how it could get worse, because at this point, you know, you've either accepted
by losing to Spurs, that's how it gets worse.
You've either accepted that you're dying, or you don't think that anyone can die. Like I've said it for weeks. I've as a fan, I've accepted death. Like, nothing could be worse. This isn't going to affect me. Like, nothing. It could not get worse. I mean, at this point, we're just talking about superficial things. Anything other than winning a major trophy this season was a categorical, catastrophic failure. It's that £500 million. Categorical, catastrophic failure if you do not deliver a major trophy with that. And we would say the same fucking thing. If Arsenal spent £500 million and walked away with no trophies, we would all sit here and clown them. If Chelsea did it in one summer, we would clown. If City did it and they win nothing, you would never hear the end of it from rival fans. You would be clowning the shit out of them, saying you're £1 billion bottle jobs. You're this, you're that. But when it's us, we hold a different standard.
It's true.
Like, I'm not going to do that.
We've done it, but Mike, we've done it before. This is why I can't. When other fan bases come at us and criticize us and laugh at us, we've done the same, right? We all laughed at Chelsea when they spent how much money and didn't get Champions League football. Yeah, we laughed at them, right? We've done it at United.
For me,
United spent all this money.
And always not change each other's diapers. Like, at the end of the day, you've got to because you've got to. Richard Hughes needs to understand. Like, I'm gonna say something, yeah. Richard Hughes needs to understand that his neck is on the line next.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking for Jamie Phillips here. If those two scenarios happen, I know Jamie Phillips on Wednesday night won't just be ranting about Slot. He'll be ranting about Richard Hughes. So will I. So will Mike. So will everyone. We're going to start looking at FSG and Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes.
I brought up
because there is a level.
We've already cooked them.
Mike, I know you're not agreeing with me here, but try to understand where I'm coming from. There are levels where things do become unacceptable. And for me, these next 2 games is where I'm completely drawing the line. I think it is completely unacceptable.
But the only question I have for you is, we barely beat a 9-man Spurs who almost drew the game with 9 men. And we've lost 6-0 at home on aggregate to Crystal Palace. What is more embarrassing? Losing 6-0 at home on aggregate to Crystal Palace, or dropping points to an out of form Spurs? Which one is more embarrassing?
Dropping points to an out of form Spurs, because they're 17th.
I disagree.
They have a new manager. All their good players are out. They don't have, you know, at least in the game where they had 9, at least Romero and Van de Ven played that game. You know that, right? Also, if I were to hold the pistol at your head right now and go like, would you rather have Thomas Frank or Tudor as your manager? You probably choose Thomas Frank. So all like this is the absolute, like not a single Spurs player starts for us. Not a single good Spurs player is in the team. Like they're all injured or out. It's probably going to be like Archie Gray and bunch of random players that, you know, maybe Solanke. Other than that, it's bunch of crap players. And Galatasaray the same. Outside of Osimhen, who's better than what we have? Imagine, forget Slot, yeah? Imagine KJ was manager.
But you but like
would you
using this logic?
Honestly, with the Liverpool team.
But just to clarify, using this logic, you're saying that there's going to be a whole bunch of new players and they have a new manager. So basically, under Arne Slot's own words, you know, Spurs are not going to play like they have the other games this season. So they're going to play in an unexpected way, and that's going to catch our manager by surprise. And so, yes, I won't be shocked if the manager who claims that he needs teams to play the same way every week in order to play them fails against a team that fields a completely new 11 that we probably haven't seen this season in a completely new way for a one-off game.
And guess what, Mike?
By his own words,
they're talking about the press conferences. I don't know. You see this thing that they're talking about press conferences? Let's look at the Galatasaray game, okay? They didn't low block. They didn't defend amazingly. They gave us chances. They didn't. I disagree with you even on the press. I don't think they pressed us amazingly. They didn't build out from the back in an incredible manner. Galatasaray did nothing incredible on Tuesday. We just suck. That's the truth. So all of this Arne Slot press conference, and look what he said, and he said this about low block. By the way, Galatasaray, they didn't do set pieces and long throw-ins or any of the things.
They didn't play a low block. They played a high pressing mid block, and they just took away the center of the park.
Yeah, they did.
And that's what Liverpool can't compete.
They did nothing.
Exactly. That's what me and Jamie have said that we can't deal with all season.
But they did nothing that Slot's been complaining about all year. They did nothing that Slot's been complaining about all year. Literally nothing.
Well, Slot stopped complaining because he realized that, you know, he's it's falling on deaf ears at this point. But
he's already prepped his excuses. That's just what it is.
Yeah, we actually play better against low block teams than teams that press us.
Yeah.
Fact.
Look at Villa. Yeah. Look at Aston Villa at home. Low block the whole game. Battered them.
Teams that press us expose how exposed we can get when we are pressed under physicality and whatnot.
And teams have noticed that now. That's why they don't play low blocks no more.
Yeah.
They've realised it.
Brentford pressed the shit out of us. Brentford pressed us. Southampton.
Burnley
Burnley
was the blueprint.
Burnley in the second half. Do you remember? In the first half, we were all over them, because they played a low block. We looked good. Yep. Second half, they came out, decided to play a mid block, push higher up the pitch, and they were the better team by a mile. So, and teams have worked it out now. No team plays low block against Liverpool anymore. They actually go, you know what? We fancy ourselves. Let's just press ourselves up against their midfield, and they disappear.
They literally, like, other teams show up and they go, you know what? Liverpool used to be a team where you can't go for 50-50s. Like, you got to be smart. You got to be strategic, and you got to pick your moments. Now they're just like, fuck it. It's just a roll of the dice, and more often than not, we're going to win. Like, your luck sucks. Your players suck. Your effort sucks. We're just going to play for 50-50s, and we know that it's not really a 50-50. It's more like an 80-20, and you get fucked 80% of the time. So, it's just the nature of the game for Liverpool right now.
And you know why we don't win second balls either? Because we're not structurally right to win second balls.
We're too spread apart.
Because we're too spread apart, and we're too advanced up the pitch to win second balls, so you've got nothing in behind. That's why so it's a structural issue. There's no doubt about it.
Let me just grab these supers, and then we're gonna move on to just the last topic of the day. Big up to all of you guys locked in. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. KJ, I know you said you've got to leave. If you wanna hop off, big up to you, brother. Big up. KJ SJ7 is in the description. Go check out his channel. Big up to you, KJ.
Big up the chat.
Good weekend, mate.
Big up, KJ. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for joining us.
Brothers.
Big up.
Let's see. Quickly, Spurs prediction. I'll go 2-1, but don't be surprised if it's like 1-1, because I genuinely, what Mike says, I feel the same. We're the gift that keeps on giving. People say it's Dr. Spurs. It's Dr. Liverpool this weekend, unfortunately. However, the one thing that does go in our favour is Galatasaray was the end of this slot cycle, which means the cycle resets. So it should be a win on paper, innit?
Wow.
Anyway,
The end of
big
the
up, lads.
cycle is crazy.
It's
What's
that-
your prediction
literally
for
that
Gala
slot
before
3-game cycle? We'll play good. We'll get 2 victories, and in that 3rd game, he reverts everything that he did in the past 2 games. That got
What's
us
your
the
prediction
reality.
for
victories
Gala?
and
Tell me
scraps
while
it.
you're here.
Yeah,
Your prediction for Galatasaray?
Galatasaray.
Yeah.
I don't even know because it's them.
You're gonna have to tell me. Tell me. Go for
I
it.
never want to predict a loss, so I'll go. I'll take a 2-1 again.
Big up to you, KJ. Big up to you. Appreciate you.
Big up,
brother. Big
guys.
up. Thanks for joining us, man. Big up. Big up. Big up to Ice-T, who says if we lose or draw against Spurs, morale will be crap when we play Doner Kebab FC at Anfield. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest, man. This Sunday, man, inshallah, we will be here for the watch along. If we don't win, bro, I'm going all out, bro. I'm telling you guys right now. I'm gonna drop a pre-record like no other. Like, it'll be a worse pre-record than any Chelsea one, any Man United one, any Arsenal one, whatever it is. Like, it'll be a pre-record. I'm gonna, for 8 minutes straight, I'm gonna just speak about Arne Slot. I'll be honest with you. No Van de Ven, no Romero, no Odegaard, no Madison, no Kulusevski. 17th, Igor Tudor. No, bro. Listen, if Kev was manager, I'd expect us to beat them. Vert's biggest problem is what Amin says. He's afraid to hurt the ball.
He's just a bit of a pussy.
You know with Verts, right? Verts, he's hard working. He's tenacious. He tries to win the ball back. He presses, but he's just a little bit lightweight at the moment, and he needs to toughen up. Sometimes he tries to cut inside, and the defenders will do enough to nick the ball. I don't know whether he lost the ball this frequently in Germany, but it just happens a bit too much in the Premier League, and he needs to do better. He just needs to do better.
He wins it back a lot, though. I will say that.
Yeah, that's something. He's tenacious in that sense. Yeah.
So that's why I don't know if it's a physical thing, because he physically presses and wins the ball back.
Doesn't hit. Yeah. I don't know why he doesn't hit the ball with power. Like it's.
He's always finished. He always finishes.
Just a bit of a bitch. He's just a bit of a bitch.
Mike, have you turned on Verts? What's going on? Talk to me.
Listen. I think that Verts possesses quality. He possesses potential, but right now, for one reason or another, he's just bitch made. He can't strike the ball with any kind of power or finesse or placement. Like, his touch is loose. He loses it too often. He gets bullied. One thing that he does provide, though, is he provides off-ball effort. Like, he makes the runs. He will press, right? He might lose the duel, but he went in for the challenge, right? So I get that. He's providing the effort, but there's some sort of mental block that's happening right now where he's not all there. Like, again, I think it's very fixable. And again, he's also showed me in glimpses of the kind of player that he can be. I don't exactly think that he's being platformed well. So I do hold some reservation. I've seen him in Germany. I've seen him play for the German national team. I know what he's capable of. But I also think that for one reason or another, he just has a mental block right now. And unfortunately, he doesn't even have a consistent position. He's not platformed properly. He's not given proper support. Like, there's no chemistry between him and anybody else who isn't named Hugo Ekitike. So, again, he's here for a long time. It's his first season. And at the end of the day, he's 22. But, like, brother, just put your head down and fucking hit the ball. Like, it doesn't need to be complex.
I agree with everything Jamie said today, except that McAllister point. He was being a bit shameless with that, Jamie. He was so weak by Verts. So weak.
No, if McAllister is world-class footballer, he should shoot in that position, man.
He can, but he gave it to the guy that's empty.
Yeah, because he's a pussy.
Yeah, but he also gave him a shit pass. The ball bounced.
How many times are you going to use this word today? Word of the day.
I'm done with McAllister, man. Done with him.
Big up to Albert, who says we're every right to be scared of Spurs. We lost to Wolves. Losing to Spurs isn't as bad as losing to Wolves.
Oh, it is. Wolves right now are a far better football team than Tottenham.
Wolves aren't Wolves like. I'm gonna check this right now. Aren't Wolves like the 4th most informed team in the Premier League or something?
There's definitely been an uptick. There's definitely been an uptick in Wolves.
Wolves have 2 wins in the last 4 games. The only ones that have 2 wins in the last 4 games are like City and Arsenal, bro.
Yeah, Wolves actually. Look, don't go on position, right? Tottenham are the worst team in the Premier League right now.
I agree.
Right, they are the worst team in the Premier League right now. Wolves play better football and look better on the eye than this Tottenham team right now.
I agree with that.
The worst loss of the season, easily the worst loss. Like even a draw, like
Oh yeah,
any-
yeah. I agree.
the worst result of the season.
A draw is just as much as a disaster as a loss, by the way. Iago Aspas had more muscles than Wirtz. He should use that muscle to put in a good corner. You know, Iago Aspas. Never forgive him for that corner right there. That it's
The
one of the
worst
moments that
corner of
live
all
rent-free in my head. There are so many moments that live rent-free in my head as a Liverpool fan. So many. One of them, the Vitinha penalty from last year. You know, I think Jamie could have saved that. I still can't believe that Alisson went the right way at a 1 mile per hour shot and still
you
couldn't
still
save
missed
the
it. Yeah, we got to talk
still
about
couldn't save the penalty.
No one wants.
That was
No
like-
one.
the Vitinha penalty it went like this.
Listen, I think it's time that Allison packed his bags and got out of here, but that's a different conversation.
No one wants to have that convo, man. No one wants it.
I have never seen a goalkeeper miss more games for it's a fucking brother. You stand all game. All you do is stand. You just
we're not talking
stand.
about him as
You
a player.
stand
By the way.
around.
We're talking about his injuries, not him as a player.
Yeah, like how are you getting hurt so much? Like, what is going on? Not to mention, you eat red meat like you're supposed to be this like super healthy guy. What are we doing? Like, you love the barbecue. You're eating steaks and fucking ribs, and you're probably eating liver and all these other new things that all these fitness people are doing. Yet you get hurt every fucking week. What are we doing?
Yeah, and to be fair, I thought Marmon Dashvili was good against Galatasaray as well. So
he was.
Yeah, for sure. He made a great save that kept it at 1-0.
His saving.
Yeah, when Van Dijk got beat in the air by Davinson Sanchez.
yeah, that is poor. That is poor.
Virgil. Mike's definition is the best definition of words. Hugo's fan. Big up to you. You watch every Friday show. This is your first ever super chat in Nigerian Naira where you're actually backing Mike. Every single time you've sent me super chats, you've been insulting Mike. This is the first time ever.
He even
in history of your life.
He even has Wirtz as his picture. Look at that. It's Florian Wirtz right there. I know my player.
Wirtz will be fine. In my opinion, Wirtz is going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, he's going to be fine under a
he's
different
gonna-
manager and a new system.
I just think Wirtz has been misused this season completely by the coach. So
We need to see
Jamie,
him.
you want to know the problem? We could say that about every single player.
I think a lot of them
That's not
actually,
true. That's not fucking true. Cody Gakpo needs to have his work visa revoked. Like, Cody Gakpo is terrible. He's atrocious. He's the worst. He's the worst Liverpool player that I have seen. Darwin Núñez shits on his legacy. Darwin Núñez is 1,000 times the footballer as Cody Gakpo, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
That is true.
No,
yeah, but
it's true.
Ooh, I don't know about that. No.
It's true. It's true.
Grant had a good season last season. He had a good season last season.
I said
No,
Gakpo.
sorry. Gakpo had a good season last season. He wasn't bad, Mike.
I will say one thing. If Cody Gakpo went to Germany, he's probably getting 25 GA in a season. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
good. Bayern. I have your Olisa replacement ready. Let's go. Hey, you could run
Ain't
that
gonna lie.
DS Gakpo double turbo. Run it. bro.
I'm telling you, Cody scores goals. Cody scores a lot of goals in Germany, man.
I agree with that. Send him to
Probably.
Germany.
I mean, Luis Diaz is cooking.
Yeah. Alex Leonte says when you end up saying that bad luck or missed chances is the reason we haven't won in 85% of the games, it ain't the players anymore. Bingo, Alex.
Oh, yeah,
And here's the
wicked.
thing for me. This is why I said to Mike, and I've been explaining like for the last 24 hours, that it really doesn't matter anymore. I don't care if TK misses a one-on-one, Salah misses a penalty, Virgil van Dijk scores an own goal, Gravenberch can't pass. I don't care. Now, Habibi, these next 2 games, wallah, I don't care. Wallah, I just don't care. I legit don't care. I don't care if Virgil van Dijk pulls Osimhen down and gets sent off in the first 4 minutes. We still have to go through against Galatasaray. You have 0 excuses. And even Galatasaray fans are not at Anfield. Imagine. They don't even have fans. They have
But the thing is, they're still going to make more noise than the cop. No fans makes more noise than the cop.
Can I just say, I don't think the atmosphere was that terrible at Galatasaray the other day.
Yeah, it was okay. It was all right.
All they were doing was booing us when we had the ball. Oh,
They were just
scary.
whistling.
Right?
They were whistling.
So
Loud.
everyone keep going, oh, Rio can't play in that horrible atmosphere. What you on about? It'd be worse for him to play at Elland Road than that atmosphere. Like, what are we doing here,
some
man?
earplugs. Like what? Like seriously, but clearly our players don't communicate with each other to begin with. So just put earplugs in every single player, and we'll be good. Like you'll be fine. You won't go deaf. It's all good.
And speaking of players, I do want to talk about the players a little bit because we have discussed Slot. We've discussed the next two fixtures. Let this just be our last topic of the day. Big up to all of you guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Big up to everyone who's shown us so much love and support. I appreciate you guys always. Like, subscribe, because I'm trying to get to 71k and we can only get there with you guys' help. So, players. Mike Das. I've seen your streams. I've heard what you just said about Allison and what you've just said about Verts.
You were in my stream yesterday, eh?
Yes,
you
I
were.
was. I was outside, so I couldn't join. How do you feel about Liverpool players right now? You've made your opinions known on Slot. How do you feel about the players, the player debates that's been happening in the Liverpool stratosphere over these last 72 hours?
Sure.
You know, regarding the midfielders, the wingers, the forward, the centre back, whatever it is you want to talk about. I've seen people even debate fullbacks. You know, on
listen. Listen. I'll keep it short and sweet. I've been talking a lot today. We need to hear from the other panelists, but just let's go down the line. Cody Gakpo, waste of space, waste of money. He's making the same amount of money as 6 teachers per week. Bin him. Hugo Ekitike,
Oh my God.
dog, but also inconsistent. Needs to learn how to head the ball. Also, you get a 1v1.
How many nurses? How many nurses? Right, we need to know the conversion in nurses and doctors rather than teachers. Come on.
Hey, you know, maybe 2 nurses, maybe 1 really good doctor. Right winger. Let's go with Mohamed Salah. Listen, Mohamed Salah. I've had the same energy all season. Shit in front of goal. He's not a touchline winger. Why are you playing Mo? Why is his heat map literally on the byline and only on the byline? Why does he get no support? Why is he put into 2v1s? McAllister, I mean, 6 weeks ago I said fire sale, $1 and you can have him. I've scratched that down. 50 cents, McAllister is yours. Gravenberch, just not on it recently. But again, I think we're asking a lot of Gravenberch to constantly beat 2 defenders and then make a 40-yard pass because no one ever helps him. Szoboszlai, he's been my Swiss Army knife. I do have critiques of him, but he's been one of the better players. Curtis Jones threw a punch for me. Love him. Always injects something into the game. Kirkes has been great since we actually started playing him at fullback. Robertson's doing a job. Van Dijk is the most valuable player in this team. I don't care how poor he's been. Without him, we would be 1,000 times worse. Konate makes mistakes sometimes, but also bails out a lot of players, including Van Dijk. Frimpong, excellent. Need him playing right wing if we're going to be playing this system. If I'm going to be playing a touchline winger, Frimpong needs to go up to right wing. Salah needs to either go to striker or get out of the team. And Joe Gomez.
Let me just show you this because Mike pointed out the heat maps. I actually went to look at Mo and Verts' heat maps against Galatasaray. Take a good look at this, yeah? This is Mo's
Mo is
heat
never
map.
going to be effective from there. He's never going to. Never.
This is Verts' heat map as well. Look.
But that's because Verts is given a free roll. A free roll.
No, it's actually quite similar. It's basically left back and right back in essence.
Listen, all I'm saying is, if you were expecting at 34 years old for Mohamed Salah to become a touchline winger, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, you are absolutely insane. You are losing your fucking marbles. And it's no coincidence that he scored a goal playing in a central area against Wolves. It's no coincidence whatsoever. But that's the full starting 11. You know, again, some players are just not good enough. But
so, Mike, who do you actually like instead of just? I love
Frimpong. Frimpong till I die. Kirkes till I die. Hugo till I die. Verts till I die. Bin McAllister. Bin Cody Gakpo. Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. I'm with you, but not till I die. Van Dijk I'm with until I die. Konate I'm with until I die. Mamadashvili, You're my new number one.
Canate might not be with us until he dies. He's probably off.
This is true. And Gakpo, Benham. Also, Rio, need to see him more. Again, it's no coincidence.
Till he dies? Till he die? Or for Rio?
Rio till I die, 100%.
Rio till I die. Rio till I die. Cool.
We got a lot of time here. And he's the only... Guys, isn't it crazy that in the year 2026, that Rio Ngamoa is the only player at Liverpool Football Club that can dribble a fullback? An 18-year-old is the only player at Liverpool that can dribble. Keyword is dribble, because Frimpong doesn't dribble him. Frimpong just punts the ball and says, I'm faster than you. Catch up. Like, that's not the same. Rio sits men down. He's the only guy in our club that can do it, and he's 18 years old. But those are the guys that I like. I really only dislike like 3 players. You know, I really only vehemently hate 3 guys. Outside of that, I give a lot of breaks to.
Who's the 3 you hate?
Cody Gakpo, Alexis McAllister, and that actually might be it. Maybe it's only 2. It's really just those 2 that I just despise.
Liverpool 67. You're saying I'm arrogant for saying Galatasaray and Spurs at Anfield are must-win games. I think you need to think about your comment before you write it. If that's arrogance, like, why are you acting like we're playing Madrid and Man City, brother? We're playing Galatasaray and Spurs. If Ash in the chat was manager, I'd expect us to win.
Look, with McAllister, I think McAllister's a good footballer. My whole thing on McAllister is his mobility. That all it is with McAllister for me right now in that midfield. Look, McAllister has got he moves like Reece Williams, right? But he's got the football ability of being what he is. I don't know if his physical, like his mobility and athleticism, I don't think he's going to improve next year or the year after. But his football brain, his football ability will always be there. But it's the physical side of his game. I just don't know if that's going to ever come back into his game. And in the Premier League right now, you need a bit more of than just being a tactician like McAllister is in that midfield. And that's the reason I'd let McAllister go. Not because he's a shit footballer. I'm not saying but McAllister's a dead player or anything like that. It's just the man moves at the same time the sun goes around the earth. That is how slow he is, man. And that's my whole issue with him. You know, nothing else. I'm not going to put him down as a footballer because I think he's a very fine footballer. It's just he hasn't got the athleticism, the physicalness, the movement anymore for me to be in our midfield.
Yeah, like I think
exactly, main amateur, exactly. And now you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
People keep saying Macca's going to get sold, but I'm just not certain. I'm not certain Madrid's going to pay 40, 50 million for him. Like after this season, I don't know if that makes sense for them, honestly. Like I think
that's the question, right? That's the buyer.
He has 2 or 3 years left, right? Like there's no rush. Like he's not on crazy money. Like we can still buy another midfielder to replace him in there, and then Macca coming in off the bench or starting some games here and there, I think that would be perfect. I just think he can't be that first option in that position right now. We need to get a better profile, but keeping Macca in the team, I don't think I'm not in a rush to get rid of him. We just have to change his role in the team. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think we're all happy with McAllister as a footballer. It's just that he can't move. And like main amateur says he's played too much football. Well, then he's fucked next year, hasn't he? He's played the World Cup. So where's he going to get his rest? So again, is he going to be the same player next year? And we're still going, he can't run, he can't chase down, he's struggling. I've been saying it all season, I keep saying it now. I think there's too much hate on Gravenberch all the time. All the time. I think there's too much hate on him because they see him as our DM. We play a double pivot, people. It means there's 2 DMs, not 1. Right?
Jamie, you're calling him Gravenberch for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because he was a bitch. You're allowed to call someone a bitch, man.
So what are you hating as well?
Everyone can hate on a player, but what I'm talking about, he gets hate for 14 months. For 14 months now, he's been getting hate. Right? He's got to do the defending of himself and McAllister because McAllister can't move. So he's got to do both. I think everyone forgets we play a double pivot, people. It means there's 2 DMs, not one. They're both in charge of playing defensive side of the game. And then when people say Gravenberch can't pass, who the hell can? You know our best passer in our team.
Everyone else in the midfield, outside Endo.
Shit. They're all shit at passing. Our best passer is Virgil van Dijk.
No, but just because you play a double pivot doesn't mean you play 2 defensive midfielders. When we had Alonso Mascherano's responsibilities weren't the same.
Yeah, but they're still DMs.
No, they weren't. Alonso wasn't a DM. Alonso was
one's a playmaking DM or one's an aggressive DM. So they're still DMs.
We don't play with any DM. I don't think it's fair to describe them as DMs though.
Yeah, we don't have any defensive midfielders, but like we don't play with a defensive midfielder.
Alonso is a deep line playmaking midfielder, and Mascherano's a DM. So they're both sort of DMs. That's their roles. They weren't box to box midfielders, were they?
Wait, Husam, just really quickly, could you share that? It's just a screenshot. I just want to prove it because I love Gravenberch and I haven't been hard on him.
You haven't shared anything.
Yes, I did.
No, you haven't. Unshare it and share it again.
Because if you see this picture, you'll understand everything that you need to know about Ryan Gravenberch. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Again, we don't play with any. We do not play with any defensive midfielders. We play with no midfield. That's Ryan Gravenberch right there. Who, even if he gets the ball, what is he going to do? And this is the positions that we most often build up in, with just no one in the midfield. And Ryan's supposed to be the guy that drops down. And if let's say Ryan were to drop and he were to show for Virgil van Dijk and he gets the ball, he's got 3 guys immediately pressing him. And then he loses the ball and we all say Gravenberch is weak. Gravenberch is a bitch. Gravenberch sucks. More often than not, Gravenberch is put in positions to fail. He's being asked to receive the ball, beat 2 players, pass the ball, because we don't possess a structure.
Here's my problem. I could say the same exact thing about McAllister and all the players.
Okay, but
everyone's been set up to fail. Look where Mo is on the pitch.
Okay, but
is that not set up to fail? Look where Karkas is on the pitch. Is that not set up to fail?
But McAllister literally, McAllister couldn't catch up to an ice cream truck. Like McAllister can't move.
Yo, that's athleticism.
I can order something off of Amazon and get it faster than McAllister can make his way up the pitch. Like it's that simple. Overnight delivery is faster.
That's not his fault.
Alexis McAllister. 100%. I just think it's time to go for him. He's still good. Like he's good in offensive positions, but again, I don't think that how does Adam Wharton solve this picture? How does Elliot Anderson solve this picture? How does Prime Casemiro? How does Prime name me any defensive midfielder in the history of football that fixes this picture? And I just think
what way are we shooting in this picture?
We're going to the left. We're building up to the left.
I can't tell. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, we're building up from right to left is how we're building
so up. We're in green, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going that way. That's Virgil on the ball. Yeah.
We're going this way. Man. We're going this way.
I thought we was in red. I was about to say, that's all right.
No,
if we're in red there, whoever's in red there is playing a better system than us.
Well, this is Galatasaray.
Prime Casemiro doesn't change the problem because Casemiro can't pass either.
Okay, Husam, that's why I said name me any DM in the history of history, any DM to ever live in the history of the world. Doesn't solve this problem.
This is you know the problem. You know the problem with you. Let me tell you the problem with you. Yeah, you show up this screenshot, and it helps support your argument of who can Gravenberch pass to? But I can show you multiple screenshots as well. I just don't have them. But if you recall the game, you'll know this. I can show you multiple screenshots where Gravenberch does have the ball in a position where he can pass and he does have options and he decides to dribble and keep the ball and shimmy and drop the head and blah, blah, blah. And in the end, make the obvious pass anyway. That you could have made 5 hours ago.
The thing is, we can all bring up screenshots of everything, every player this season, and all be right about everything. Do you know what I mean? I can bring up screenshots of McAllister just giving away the ball every time he touches it. You can do the same thing about Gravenberch. I can do the same thing about
You can do the same thing of Federico Valverde against City. He probably gave away the ball.
I think this season we can all find screenshots of everyone doing everything wrong because they've been coached appallingly. Right? Do you know what I mean? This game against Tottenham on the weekend is the 2 worst coach sides in the Premier League going at it.
Wow.
Europe. 2 worst coach sides in Europe.
Going at it. So it's we can all find all this shit, man. We're just shit.
Damn. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for the.
I think we'll smoke them.
Truthful.
I think we'll smoke them. Rio will have a big game, and that Anfield.
We're all thinking Rio starts.
I will not show confidence. Every time I show confidence, I get fucked. For now on, I'm gonna go doom and gloom, and I'll be happy to be proved wrong. I will not go confident into any night anymore.
Does anyone know what happened to Cody and his arm and fingers? It looks like he got his 2 fingers stuck somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw that. What was that?
What's happened to him? Does anyone know?
I think he's trying to channel his inner Luis Suarez, and he thinks that if he just wraps up his hand, he might actually finish opportunities.
Did he fall out of Arne Slot's bedroom window when the wife came home and he had to get out quick?
Maybe. I do think he's I think he's the Jon Snow to Arne Slot, if that makes sense.
You're telling me he's going to get killed in season 4 and come back? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just. That's a little bit further down the line.
Spoilers, by the way, if no one's watched it.
Cody Snow.
Rax, what's your thoughts on the players? You haven't spoken up in this section.
I still think the majority of players we have are good players, and certainly they're underperforming. Part of the underperformance is their own, self-confidence, perhaps. Negligence, perhaps. They have to take a degree of the responsibility, absolutely, and a function of that is also the manager. So I think almost certainly Salah's going to go in the summer. And Husam, as you know, I've been saying, I've known you and Mike probably, and to be fair, and Jamie as well, for the longest. I've been saying that the real rebuild will come when the biggest players in this kind of Klopp era need to be replaced. Those players are Virgil, Alisson, Salah, and arguably Trent. And one of them, in Salah, will go this summer. And I don't know where the replacement is coming from. We're not going to be able to recreate him, so we have to look at changing the way we play. And I don't think that's going to be an easy thing. Perhaps this is a precursor to that, and maybe
are you telling me next season is also going to be a rebuild?
Well, I mean, I think
are we going to have back-to-back rebuild seasons, brother? I
think inevitably. Well, I think when Salah goes, obviously that's a gaping. He hasn't had the best season, of course, but that's a gaping hole that needs to be filled with someone with quality, right? We need someone proven in whatever tactic the existing manager or the new manager wants, has to be able to fulfill that role almost to perfection from the get-go. That's not going to be easy. And that's why it may mean kind of changing the way we play. Or maybe finally, if it's Slot that's staying, Slot must have a vision, right? I'm guessing this is not what Slot wants. It would be ridiculous to suggest that this is Slot's overall idea of football, because that would be beyond crazy. So we have to achieve, whoever the manager is, we have to reach that and be playing to that style or that model. I don't know. I really, there's a lot of questions. I think probably left wing and right wing. We need 2 wingers. I think we need at least 1 central midfielder, because Gravenberch was good for the first 6 months of last season. I really haven't seen enough in the preceding year or the year since that's filled me with a lot of confidence. I said it last week. He's a good dribbler. He can take the ball on the half turn and beat a man or two. But I think in any of those central midfield positions, it's much, much, much more important to be able to take the ball in the half turn and pass it and spread the play and dictate the tempo, because that's going to benefit the team much more. Sometimes it just holds on to it too long, because if you can take a touch and pass it, that takes a second, half a second. If you take a touch turn, you beat 2 or 3 players. Yes, that can destabilise the opposition's defence, but it also takes 5 or 6 seconds. So other players have an opportunity to get back into position.
Right.
I don't necessarily think that is the most important thing. If he is going to be that guy, then we need somebody else who's more defensive and who can pass the ball properly. I'm looking at Adam Wharton. I don't know about Elliot Anderson. I haven't watched him close enough, but I wouldn't be adverse to if they were both available. I wouldn't be adverse to an Elliot Anderson, Wharton double pivot. I don't think we need Gravenberch. I think we need solidity.
So with Grav, you said there about you. This is just not on Grav. This is about all the midfield. This midfield has been overworked because we have no outball. We have zero outball. Yeah. If you go back to the FA Cup game against Wolves when Rio played, you see all the balls Gravenberch was spraying over to Rio because he had an outball. Did it many times. He did what you said. He got a turn, dribble past one, did the outball. We have zero outball. This midfield is completely overworked, and that is why we pass side to side, because we have no outball. Zero. There is no one to pass the ball out to. We got like Salah wants it to feet now because he's at an age where he wants it to feet. Cody wants it to feet. They don't want to run in behind. Yeah, you need pace and width to get the ball, to spread it out, to get people running in behind, to get the best out of these players. Our midfield is so overworked. Again, it's a whole setup thing. It's the issue of our team right now. That's why I've been begging for Rio to play for a while now, because he will give you that outball, which takes the pressure off your midfield. If you go back to last season, what Jota, Darwin and Luis Diaz were great at, if you throw a ball 50 yards up the pitch, they'd chase the shit out of it, right? They wouldn't give up on that ball. They would just chase it. Even if it was impossible to get, they'd chase it. What does that do? Takes the pressure off your midfield, helps you push up the pitch. We haven't got that now. We haven't.
I don't know.
That. That's why.
Have we seen that from Rio? But have we seen that from Rio?
No,
Rio's a dribbler. Yeah, absolutely. But therefore, we haven't seen if he's the kind of guy who's going to run behind. Yes, he's got pace. Yes, he can beat a man. But
what a terrible time to lag out.
He just completely lagged out there.
Everything you're saying, Jamie, is why I want the 2 wingers, the 2 pacey wingers with Wirtz in the 10. That's I feel like that's how we unlock Wirtz. That's how we unlock these low blocks. We need the pace.
Oh, that's how we unlock Wirtz. Oh.
We need it.
I mean, listen,
it's true. If you're going to buy a specialist number 10 and a striker,
you need a number 6 that can pass and attack.
You need a weak. The biggest thing you need if you've got a 10 and a striker is
we're still babying players in March. It's crazy.
No. We're not. No, Sam, we've got to talk sensibly here. If you've got a specialist number 10 and a striker, they want width because they need the space to play with. We know this. It's understandable. It makes sense. If you've got a specialist 10 and a striker, you've got 2 wingers that like to invert and take up their space. Where do they go? They got nowhere to play. That's why I said a year ago, Sam, you might remember this because I think I said it about a year or so ago before he was even thinking about buying Isaac. I said Salah and Isaac wouldn't work just because of that reason, right? Just because of that reason. You need width and get the width and then get the midfielder as well in the summer. That's what we need. We need 2 wide players that are quick and direct and keep the width and take their fullbacks on going outside, and then get a specialist midfielder that can find the balls into the midfield as well. And then I think we look far better. But
if we're going to play this way,
in this system.
But problem is the Slot play that way next season with them. If he's got that ability to play that way, we don't know.
He doesn't play at all.
So
hopefully he doesn't play at all. But
you need to get a new manager, get the wingers in, get a specialist midfielder that can find your number 10s and your strikers, can get the ball in the wide areas, take the pressure off the midfield, get it into them wide areas. Look at the way West Ham play look at the way West Ham play and how they play differently when Somerville's not playing. Right? West Ham lacks something when Somerville's not playing. As soon as Somerville's playing, they knock the ball out into the corners, turn the opposition, able to push up the pitch. Matheus Fernandes looks better because of it as well, and you see players move. And he's not a great winger, so you imagine what Liverpool can do if they get like the next best wingers on the market and get an Adam Walton in the midfield that can feed the balls and stuff like that. I think Liverpool look like a better side.
Every single. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
I'm not worried about next season as much as long as we get the recruitment right. We just need certain profiles on the entire team. It's very obvious where our issues lie. One comes in, starts, does his thing, and you can see like if you get another version of that, like a more senior player, let's say on the right or even on the left, to be in front of Rio, and then you get rid of Gakpo, again, the team is going to look way better. Like Wirtz clearly is not a left winger. He wants to be in the middle of the park, linking up play, but he needs like those penetrating runs, or else he has nobody to feed. So I just think, honestly, I don't think the coach will ever do it, but if he were going to switch up the wingers, I would just take both Gakpo and Salah out and put Rio and Frimpong there, and then put Curtis at right back. You can just get two physical midfielders in there behind Wirtz, and then put some pace on the wings, and let's see what happens. That's what I want to see.
I mean, I think the only solution Slot realistically has with what he has available, with not being able to buy anybody, is to just bin the wingers and play with 5 midfielders. Like that's the only thing that I could see that could put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound right now.
The problem is Ekitike also is false 9. That's the problem.
Okay, listen, all of that is fine, but the most
so you do all
area,
that, and Ekitike drops deep as well. So who is the box?
Okay,
presence?
but the only reason why I'm saying go 5 midfielders is because you don't trust Rio. You have no pace on the right anyway. And your biggest lack is in the center of the pitch, and you have a refusal to play you refuse to go direct, you refuse to play long, you want everything ball to feet, you want everything build up, all of this, all of that. Then just play 5 midfielders. Like if you want to play this slow ass, boring, progressive, possession based football, then just put 5 midfielders on the pitch and hope that Ekitike is clinical. I mean, I do agree long term. Look at every single good team in the world, bar Arsenal, because they're fucking frauds and they won't win anything this season. Every single good team in the world has pacey wingers. Manchester City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, every team Barcelona, every team that you can think of has pacey, creative wingers.
I mean, even Arsenal do, right? Arsenal have.
No, 100%. They're just shit.
Yeah.
They're just shit. They're just Saka sucks and Martinelli is Shartinelli. But like, I mean, listen, if you want to keep like this stupid fucking formation that is so ass backwards, then the only starting front 3, the only allowed is Rio, Ekitike, Frimpong. Like, if this is how you want to play, that's you have to do that going forward. If you want Salah on the pitch, Salah, you can play right back. Habibi, like whatever, 100%. Just you could just sit behind Jeremy. But it doesn't make any sense. Like, Cody Gakpo is the opposite of a profile of a winger that works in any system on the planet. Maybe in Germany, on some scrub team, he might be able to get together. But the guy has no pace. He has no technical ability. He needs to be the last guy to touch the ball. And unfortunately, we only have 2 fast players. One of them's 18, and one of them doesn't get trusted. So if you're not going to do that, then all I ask you is just then overload the midfield. Like, you don't want to play proper wingers, that's fine. Bin them all, stick Ekitike all the way up at the top, tell him never drop, stay in the middle, and just run 5 midfielders. Curtis Jones, Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz. All 5 of you are playing. That's how we're going to try to do it. That's the only thing that makes for Arne Slot. In the future, though,
we'll see what happens in the next 2 games, and I think our next Friday show, inshallah, is going to be very interesting. Because it can be very humiliating and embarrassing for us, or hopefully we can just win these next 2 games.
I think we'll win both, but it won't be pretty.
Give me. Before I wrap up, I just want predictions. That's it, and then I'm going to end the stream. Rax, predictions for both games, please.
Someone, I can't remember who it was, said that this Spurs Liverpool game, it's the only game where both teams can potentially lose 3-0, which is kind of funny. But No, like all things being serious.
We lose 3-0. Are you mad?
No. But I mean, this okay. It doesn't matter. It was maybe it was a bad joke.
Definition, they're both shit. That's what. It is.
Yeah. We have to beat Spurs. Wolves were reasonably solid. Spurs, especially with all their injuries, they're just they have to be a nothing team. So we will win and we'll beat Spurs 3-0, and I think we will beat Galatasaray 2-0 and we'll go through.
Okay, Mike, same question.
That's my.
I think Galatasaray scores first, but we beat them 3-1. It's got to be heart attack settings. Otherwise, it's not Liverpool. It's got to be heart attack settings. So 3-1, but Galatasaray score first. And I think that Spurs are going to win 1-0. I said it earlier. It would be the most Liverpool thing. I stand by it. It's just how I feel it's going to happen. I think we're going to lose to Spurs, but go through against Galatasaray. It would be the most Arne Slot back-to-back games.
Okay, Jamie.
I think we're going to beat Spurs 6-2, and it'd be 2-0 against Galatasaray, but it'd be a very tight, close game.
Okay, and Emeka?
I see 3-0 for Spurs and 4-2 versus Gala.
Say that again. What versus Galatasaray?
4-2 Liverpool.
Oh, 4-2. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna go a lot less crazy. I'm going 2-0 Galatasaray and 2-1 win against Spurs. That's my prediction for these next.
Just get the wins, ain't it? Just get the wins.
Yeah.
Conceding a goal against Spurs is embarrassing, though, Husam.
I feel like Madrid do, to be fair.
Yeah,
we are embarrassing anyway, Mike. So anyway, I'm gonna take you guys over to Yasser TV. He's live right now. Go over there, tell him Husam Raid in his chat. Love you all. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm back tomorrow for Chelsea Newcastle, inshallah, and then after that the City West Ham game. So yeah, come on, Newcastle. You get me. So see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace out.